Now we'll discuss the very implications of retention by the widow. So, regarding that, the first one, widow is liable to render full account of all the income and profits. So, it is well established proposition of law that the widow or divorcee is liable to render full account of the rents and profits of the property received by her to those who are entitled to the property. And in the second case, there is no right of retention regarding alienation. The right of retention does not confer on her any right of alienation for value or gratuitously for the satisfaction of her dower debt or otherwise. However, if she makes an alienation, it will be valid to the extent of her share qua as legal heir as her husband's widow. And the third condition is that there is no bar to suit for recovery of her dower debt. So, the mere fact that the widow is in possession of the estate of the husband is no bar to a suit by her for the recovery of her dower debt from the heirs of her husband. But in such a suit, she must offer to give up possession in the event of a decree being passed in her favor. And now we'll go to discuss regarding when the very right of retention is lost. So, the right of retention is lost in the following three cases. When the first one, when from the income and profits of property her dower debt is satisfied, and secondly, where she alienates the property together with possession to the alienee, the other heirs get a right to immediate possession of property. And the third one, where she voluntarily hands over possession of the property to other heirs. So, under these three circumstances, the widow or the divorcee lost her right of retention of the possession of the property of her husband in lieu of her dower debt, which is not paid by either the husband or by the legal heirs of her husband out of that property which was in the ownership of her husband. So, this is all about dower and how dower is becoming a debt and how dower could be charged and how the Muslim widow or the divorcee possess the right of retention. So also, regarding the very controversy on the consent that given either by the husband or by his legal heirs, and how this consent can be expressed and implied regarding the very right of retention either by the widow or the divorcee of the property of her husband, and also the very implications of retentions regarding that the widow or the divorcee having the liability to render full account of the income and profit that she derived out of that possession of that property of her husband, and besides that she has no right of alienation. That means she could not alienate other legal heirs from that property of her husband which she is in possession. So also the very possession or retention of the possession of property does not have a bar to file a suit for recovery of her dower debt from the husband or from the legal heirs, and under what circumstances such right of retention of the property by the widow or divorcee is lost, and regarding that we have discussed three different circumstances under which that right of retention is lost.